What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Rangers Talk. Nick will be joining me shortly, but today we got a lot to unpack here. We're going to recap the game that was against the New York Islanders. We're going to recap the game against the Detroit Red Wings. We are going to recap the game that just occurred against the Nashville Predators. Before we do all that, though, please be sure to leave a like if you are watching on YouTube. That really would help out a lot. Subscribe if you guys are new as well, and turn on your notifications so you know when the podcast is uploaded. If you're listening to the audio version on Google, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you get your audio podcast, be sure to leave us a rating and review. But we got a lot to unpack here. You guys in the chat already coming through because there's a lot here, unfortunately, that we have to talk about. Not a lot of good, as the Rangers yet again, it feels like every week now we're talking about them being in a losing skid nonstop here. And it's just like, when are we going to get to do an episode here where they're actually winning some games? I don't know, but it's getting infuriating for you guys. It's getting infuriating for me. Not getting, it's been infuriating, but it's beyond infuriating for the both of us. But Nick is here now, but we'll get to the comments first before we talk about the games. Chris says Gallant is too happy after these losses. He acts like it's no big deal. We played well. That's all that matters. He keeps saying. I I agree to a certain extent with tonight, but yeah, when he was saying that after some of the games, like the Islanders, and there's just a couple games that he said it where I don't know what he's talking about, and it's like Alain Vigneault. Uh, like Mike said, yeah, Gallant is Vigneault 2.0 minus the chewing gum. But I thought they played a bit better tonight. And then Detroit, we know how that went. Connor says, if only we had Tortorella right now, leadership from the coach himself, letting the young players develop and have a chance to lead the team, and a simplified outlook on the game, it would be perfect. That's another thing. Yeah. In the final minutes of this game, Barkley Goodrow should not have been playing. We'll get to more of that. But there's a lot that went wrong. And yeah, this team does need a disciplinarian in the locker room right now because they have no accountability, no leadership, or anything going on. And we've been beating the drum for the past 3 weeks now, 4 weeks. It's been a long time now. And we feel like broken records at this point. Mike says, I've been saying that since last season. I was willing to give him the benefit of the doubt the first 15 to 20 games of the season to break bad DQ habits, but they never broke. Yeah, I mean, that's what's weird though, right? I mean, this year they're playing, there are times where they're playing better and they have the process, if you will, going for them, but they're just not getting puck luck and they're not finding the back of the net. And it's a combination of them either getting goalied and unlucky, and there's times where they are just not getting quality opportunities, even though they are out shooting the opponent. So yeah, that's just how it is. And now they are Gallant habits. I mean, yeah, we could talk about more of that. And Marvin says, I still have faith. What about you? They have to turn this around quickly. I mean, there's a small amount of hope left, but we've been saying it here for a while. They have to get in a playoff spot by Thanksgiving here, and they're in one right now. But they need to actually be. They need to show better play heading into Thanksgiving, is what I'll say. But
Right now, we're not in a playoff spot.
oh, we fell out tonight.
We're tied with the wild card spots, but we're out. We're literally
Oh yeah, I
we're
see
just
that. Yeah, we're
out.
out because of other teams having a game in hand and having more wins. So
Yeah.
yeah, we're not in a playoff spot right now either way. So, and you have a game tomorrow. You have to turn around things tomorrow. That's what's infuriating too. But how is Revo getting so much ice time? Yeah, he had a good fight, but he is slow, can't skate, and is a net negative. Gallant only put him out there because the team was getting pushed around like crazy tonight, which, again, we talk about here on the podcast all the time. When are these guys going to learn the whole, be able to stand up for themselves? Because we shouldn't be paying a guy 1.7 million to police the ice here. These guys need to learn on their own. But we're going to start with the Islander game since we do have to get there first. So this game was infuriating for many reasons. Paul Mary ended up opening the scoring there in that game on the power play. and officiating is definitely something that was questionable throughout this entire game. Rangers would respond in the first period, though, with a Filipino goal. So things tied up at 1 heading into the second period. And the Rangers actually played a very good second period. That was probably one of their better periods. Chris Kreider ended up scoring on the power play. Vinny Trocheck as well scored on the power play when on that same power play before. He had that questionable reviewed goal, but which another thing that's stupid, which we could quickly mention. I don't understand why the rule is there has to be white between the puck and the red line for it to be considered a good goal. When in football, you could barely have the ball over the line and it still
Yeah.
counts, but that's a whole different thing. And then the third period, the Rangers fell asleep at the wheel, allowing Adam Pelech to open the scoring in the third period. Yet again, the Rangers not putting any point presence on and allowing Adam Pelech to just walk in and score a goal. Brock Nelson then would score on the power play, and not too long after that, you have Kakko gets tripped up. Nothing was called, and Trouba and Miller just let Anders Lee walk right behind them, and no defensive coverage. Islanders would hold on to win the game 4-3. I don't know where to start with this game. They blew a 2-goal lead again. Shocking. And
Mm-hmm.
we we texted about this a lot, and we talked about it. The main thing that went wrong in this game, they didn't put any point pressure. It's that simple, and they paid big time for it. And it's just another scenario where when are they going to learn? I mean, they adjusted a bit in Detroit. They looked a bit better in Nashville, but it was definitely an issue in this game.
Yeah, 100%. Not much to say, but pretty much that. So it was a shit show all the way around that game.
Yep. And just to quickly get to some comments here, because I don't want to miss too much. Last year, the Rangers were 10-4-3 at the stretch. Here they are 7-6-3,
Yeah.
and it doesn't make sense because they're they're playing better this year, in my opinion, than last year. At least right now, this past week or so, they've been playing better than they did last year, and here we are, still losing games. Hawk has to be one of the most unlucky goalies in the league. Seems like he's got the Hank curse. I mean, yeah, that's another thing. There's no offense for the guy at all, but we'll get to that when we get to Nashville. All the players on the kid line are poised to break out big time. Heedle could be a point per game player in the future. They need more ice time. Completely agree. And yeah, no puck luck, but they definitely had a bit more puck luck in this first game against the Islanders. Just again, defensively wasn't their strongest game, and you could argue Igor maybe should have had a few goals, and officiating was definitely questionable. There were times where guys were getting away with just the basically murder out there. You had Adam Pelech holding Artemi Panarin by the neck. You had blatant interference calls that weren't called. You had blatant trips that weren't called. It was just a shit show all around when it came to the officiating as well. But at the end of the day, the Rangers had to hold on to that lead. We're not going to make excuses here. They had to be better. It's that simple, and they didn't play a good enough game. And it's just another scenario where the Rangers choked a 2-goal lead. But they did respond against Detroit, and they looked a lot better in this game. They actually played some quality defense in this one. They did what Nick and I talked about. They applied pressure to the point, and it ended up leading to a lot of offense, especially in the third period. But the first period, Mika Zibanejad was the one that opened up the scoring with his goal. And late in the first, Joe Veleno ended up scoring that goal. Lucas Raymond, though, would end up making it a 2-1 lead there in the second period. And then the Rangers, they were the only team that was scoring the rest of the game as Kreider got a power play goal in the third period. You really saw them turning a lot of defense into offense in that period. Adam Fox ended up scoring a goal. Barclay Goodrow scored a goal. Zibanejad with a goal. Gauthier with one. Hayek and Vesey all ended up scoring as, again, they actually were able to score. Why? Because they played good defense, turned into offense. They were scoring off the rush, and it paid off for them.
Yep. Right on.
Yeah, I mean, there's not much to it
Yeah,
to add. Honestly, with this game, they exploited for offense, and another game where it sucks that Igor. I feel like Igor plays better when he faces more shots. I don't understand it. I
I
really
agree.
don't. Because this is another game where you look at his stats and it looks like he played some bad hockey, but in reality, he wasn't the issue. But honestly, there's not much to talk about with the first two games, and it's kind of pointless when the most recent game just happened against Nashville, which is where we're really going to focus things for tonight. Uh, so chat, flood us with your comments, vent about this game because there's obviously a lot to talk about. We didn't play a bad game. We just didn't take advantage of our opportunities. Completely agree with that. And how many times tonight did the Rangers get rebound opportunities that they didn't end up either getting a shot off or they just completely missed the net on the opportunity? If you were playing a drinking game at home, I'm sorry for you because that must be brutal. They they couldn't hit the net at all tonight, and Julian Gauthier pulling a Ryan Strome.
Oh yeah, that was that. Once he missed that, I was just like, yeah, we're screwed. Like chances like that, you just gotta bury. But at the same time, in his defense, I don't think the pass from Truba was all that great. I think it got, his blade was out here. The pass was, in his skates a little bit, so it's kind of tough to, get inside and push it into the net. But, um, yeah, just like opportunities like that, you just gotta bury, because games like this where you keep missing scoring chance after scoring chance and then you get this one that's almost like a gift and you whiff on it, it's gonna bite you in bite you in the end, and so it
Yeah,
did.
yep. And you had Trocheck too, who blocked his own teammate's shot. Uh, this was just an infuriating game, and they had no puck luck. Defensively, they actually played a pretty solid game, which is what sucks. They actually played a pretty decent game. I thought the Miller Truba pair though was absolutely abysmal, and I thought that
should we
every
just like
time they're on the
break
ice,
that should we just break that pairing up, like,
they need to. It's time because
this is
how many
brutal.
times are we going to allow them to allow these high danger chances? You had Sammy Blay have to go to the locker room because he had to make up for Truba missing his assignment completely and
Yeah,
block that shot there on the 4-on-2. It's unacceptable. Lafreniere was the only guy on the back check on that first goal there.
that goal could have been preventive. Truba honestly just like didn't go for a big hit. If he just put his stick on the puck, gets deflected, and the goal never happens. I mean, I still think Halak should have had that goal, but at the same time, I'm also blaming it on Truba because it could have been avoided if he just, played it with the stick. But instead, he just wanted to be the modern day Scott Stevens, as we say, and Gallant says, and throw the big hit. But, just doesn't work. And it's funny, you see in the replay, he goes for the big hit and just like flops right after. He just completely misses. He looked lost when he threw that hit, or attempted hit. It was funny, but
And it
that's
seems like
Jacob.
that's all he knows what to do.
Yeah, it's Jacob Truba for you.
Yeah. Uh,
And his
and
father was on like the pregame. He was talking about how he likes to play like an old style of hockey. I was just like, well, it's not, tell your son it's not working because he's
and
terrible.
Sam had the audacity to say, if you want to talk guys that truly lead by example, Jacob Truba is one of them.
Yeah, no.
Right.
Just because he's the captain doesn't mean he leads by example, as we already know. It's pretty obvious at this point.
Yeah, and then the second goal, you had Keandre Miller with that brutal turnover. Actually, no, it was
It's
Trocheck with the
Trocheck,
turnover,
yeah.
right? And then Miller was out of position on the goal there. Uh,
Yeah,
Gauthier lets Roman Yossi walk in, pass from the Jankowski, taps it home.
I mean, I don't think they were expecting to turn the puck over there, but Nashville took advantage and they capitalized on it. But doesn't even matter. You can't be turning the puck over in your own zone like that, especially it's not like anyone was pressuring Trocheck. I don't think anyone was. He had time, some space to, make a play, but just made the wrong play and turned it over. And what do you know?
Yeah. And
But it just can't happen if you want to be a
yeah.
top team. Listen, it'll happen there and there for like top teams, but it's a common thing for us this year, and it happens over and over and over again, and it just can't happen if we want to be, taking this next step and being a Stanley Cup contender, consistent contender. I'm curious about, what's going to happen with this team if we keep playing like this. And if we keep losing, that's all that matters at this point, wins and losses, or just trying to to get to, string a few wins. But if we keep losing them, it's going to be interesting to see what's going to happen with the coaching. But that's another topic maybe we'll discuss later on.
I mean, I don't really have much lined up, so we could talk about that now because I don't understand at this point. What's the point of the process here? Like, they're out shooting their opponents every game. They're playing better, at least statistically, compared to last year, but the results aren't there. I don't understand it anymore. I really don't.
I think for now you could say like, just ride it out, see, what happens because, we're out shooting opponents, like today we only let up like 18 shots, but at the same time it is Nashville. I would like to, if we were giving up like 18 shots to maybe like like a Tampa Bay or like a Colorado for example, like something like that, then maybe you just like ride it out, but um I'd say right now they're probably gonna ride it out, but if they just keep losing, it's gonna take a few games to be below 500 before I think Jury will maybe make a move. Um, but I could also see him not making a move and just saying like, big deal. We missed the playoffs this year, and Golan will be on the hot seat for next season for the first few games, and if it doesn't go well, then he's gone, right? But
Well, that's the thing.
um,
If they keep playing this way, it's going to be hard for them to find a reason to fire Galan at this point because they haven't been playing bad lately. How do you even argue firing
we're not
Galan?
winning. You're not winning. The same thing happened with Vegas, right?
I guess.
I think the year he got
Yeah.
fired in 2020, I think it was like around January. Like they were like, I think they were in a playoff spot if I'm not mistaken, but they basically had like a 4 game losing streak, and he just got fired, and that was it. Just because they I guess weren't winning as often as they thought they should have, but um I don't know. I just now we start to see why Gallant, never really lasted in any other team. It's just sad. It's sad, but considering like only a year and a half ago we were hyping him up and just teams had to just give him a chance. Like no, clearly it was more than just giving him a chance. It was there's no consistency.
I think that there's also some blame to be put on Drury here. I think that there's some poor roster construction uh, from Drury. I mean, there are way too many. There's way too many things that he did wrong. Number one, you go back to that first off season, and Sammy Blais not been good enough for Pavel Buchnevich return. You go back to that offseason. You decided to sign Barca Gujo for 3.6 million versus going after a guy like Zach Hyman who could play in your top six. You go to this past offseason, he elects to keep Ryan Reeves and Sammy Blais over prioritizing a guy like Tyler Mott. That 3.6 million he's paying the Barca Gujo, I know it would have looked stupid for him to move it after one season, but hey, I'm sorry, you got to move that contract and try to keep Frank Vetrano around and maybe Tyler Mott as well, because at least then you have a bottom six forward that's doing the same thing Barca Gujo is doing, and you have a guy who could play in your top six right now and provide you some good offense. There's some blame to go to Drury for sure here. The roster construction's flawed a bit.
I liked Sammy Blade before he got injured. I thought he was a solid, well-rounded player. Buchnevich, we know, we couldn't, his salary, we weren't going to be able to pay him, and um, that's ultimately why we made the move. I mean, at this point, would we rather have Buchnevich? Probably. I wasn't too big on Buchnevich, but right now I'd rather have Buchnevich just to get some offense going. Um, but yeah, that your point with like, Zach Hyman and Barclay Goodrow, I mean, is it, it's I guess it's kind of worth paying the extra couple million just to get a guy like Hyman on your top six. And you told me he was like lighting up in Edmonton, right?
Yeah, he has like 17 or 18 points, and I don't know.
Yeah.
People will probably say to me that he's playing with McDavid and Draisaitl. Even then, he's a guy that proved in Toronto he could play in the top six and still is good for 60 points, 70 points at times. So I don't want to hear that argument there. So
Yeah.
let's see what other comments are because we have a lot to catch up on. The fact Connor says the fact that we can have a game like we did in Detroit, who is a decent team on the rise, gives me hope. Analytically, we are the unluckiest team in hockey. Expected goals for, I think we're okay. That's where my point is. You're not getting any puck luck, and yeah, they're one of the best teams in expected goals for. But like John Tortorella said, what does it even matter with the analytics anymore if you're not getting results? Like, fuck the process. You're not getting results. What's the point?
Yeah. I mean, you want to win in convincing fashion because if you don't in the regular season, it's gonna catch up to you in the playoffs. But I mean, we could be doing a lot better. Uh, and I don't know what's being said in the locker room, but Gallant is just letting these guys just play and just letting them ride, and just okay, good luck. Like you guys will be okay, but clearly we're not, and something has gotta be fixed in the locker room. I think it's a locker room problem at this point. Something is going on. I don't know what it is, but and I don't see this team being like 2014 where we start off slow and then like that team just does not have the magic that they do. Like
No, they don't have the depth either. They don't have
yeah,
the same like that fourth line in 2014 was so crucial. You don't have that fourth line at all right now. You really don't. And the top six is definitely flawed right now. Jimmy VC and tonight was Julian Gauthier, but Vitaly Kravtsov in your top six is not cutting it right now. I think VC's fine in your bottom six, but he's not cutting it at all in the top six at all. Plain and simple.
yeah. I think the biggest problem right now is just depth. Like we don't have any depth. Personally, I, I
Agree.
thought I thought this team was going to be exactly where they were like a year before. But even then, you can argue that we still needed, depth. Um, I mean, I guess we kind of got it at the deadline, but like, there's so many pieces that you could have signed for like a million or two, just effective bottom six forwards that you could have signed for that price, and
Yep.
made this and rounded this team off better. Um, Yeah, I this team is just top heavy, too top six heavy, if that makes sense. Like we have no one once the third and fourth line are out, it's pretty much dead from there, and just kind of hope that, they don't get scored on so we can actually score a goal, with the top six. I think that's probably also now thinking about it, probably part of the reason why we can't really score much. But I mean, we had that 8 goal game, yeah, but I mean, we're back to one. You know,
Yep. And
too much
it
inconsistency. It's gotta
yeah.
be. It's gotta be. It's gotta happen often. It's not.
And it doesn't even matter. Like the only way they're a deep team is when they have that third line together, the kid line. But the problem is you're sacrificing your top six with guys that are incapable of playing there. And it's gonna be like last deadline. They're gonna have to go out and find their Vetrano and their cop of this year's deadline to fit in those roles because it's not working. It's not working. And If this doesn't keep working, I'd highly consider a massive, not massive, but a soft kind of retool next offseason where you move a guy like Barkley Goodrow, you possibly move someone else. I don't know who else, but someone else that's making a decent amount of money, and promote the K line to the second line. Have Panarin and Zibanejad finally play with each other. Maybe put Kreider up there, and then throw Trocheck on the third line, and it makes the team a lot deeper. And then you fill out the bottom six with a couple more quality players because right now what you have is just not working. Lucas says, I actually think Goche is a very well-rounded player, and you might disagree with me, but he actually has looked pretty good so far. I don't think he looked great tonight, but I agree that he's looked fine. And yeah, this comment's what I agree with. Goche is a good and is a perfect fourth liner. He's nothing more than that at this point.
I think he could be more personally. I see potential in him, but I like his game a lot. I think he can generate scoring chances on his own with just his size and speed. I mean, that alone creates a lot of space. At this point, I mean, I guess you could. He's just the bottom six guy, third or fourth liner, but I could see him, be I can honestly see him being like a second or third liner if just things just went well, just the right way. I see a lot more potential in him. But right now, yeah, fourth liner, a really good fourth liner. Could play the third line, but that's right now. But like I said, I think he has more to offer. Just haven't gotten out. Haven't gotten that from him yet.
I mean, at this point, though, he's 25, 26. I don't know what more there is left. I
Well,
really don't.
it could be a little bit more. I mean, his prime will probably start around like 27. That's generally when primes usually, begin. He's just entering his prime, 26, 27. Yeah, so I mean, I don't know. Maybe a little bit more. I don't know, but I think he has more to offer. I just haven't gotten it from him, but at the same time, we're not playing really well. So,
Yeah.
and last year he was in Hartford for most of the season too, right?
No, he was just a scratch.
Or he's just a scratch. Yeah, like that doesn't help either. I like OTA. I think he's a solid player, personally. I like him.
I like him just as a bottom six guy. I don't like him any more than that personally. But let's see what other comments we have. Truba is just trash, worst captain in the NHL.
Agreed.
Yeah, I mean we beated the drum enough. We don't have to beat it more. Truba is an example of how to not play hockey. Yep.
I
Uh,
guess that's what? I guess he's leading by example in a way. Just don't play
the
like
wrong way.
yeah, just don't do what he does. He's setting a perfect example. Just don't do what he does. There you go. At least he's offering something to the table.
Lucas backing it up. Tanking for Bedard. Ugh.
Imagine if we pulled Bedard. How insane would that be?
I don't even know what does it matter at this
Oh
point. I
my
mean,
God.
they'll mess it
Doesn't
up
even,
somehow.
yeah, he'll be a bottom six forward in the
I
NHL.
mean,
That's
that
it.
we gotta throw blame here too at Jeff Gordon too. Like,
Yes.
if you actually hit on your seventh overall pick, and Elias Anderson should have been a red flag from the gold medal being or the silver medal thrown into the crowd.
Well, that was
And
after he was drafted, so it didn't.
oh, I thought that was before he was drafted. I
Nah,
mean,
nah, he was already drafted when he threw that medal.
whatever. I mean, there's still clearly some
You
red
should have
flags.
done anything and everything to move up to get either Elias Pettersson or Kale McCarr that draft in
Yeah.
17. And they were
Okay.
apparently they were trying to, but you got if you really think Kale McCarr could, I mean obviously he is, but if you really think he could be like one of the better defenders in the league, or Elias Pettersson, you really think he could be an elite talent like over Elias Sanderson, you got to do everything in your power to get that guy.
Yeah. And instead, we got Elias Anderson. Kravtsov has been just a nightmare scenario. And did you see what was on Twitter after? Apparently,
What
he didn't have the flu. He had an infected tooth, and that's why he didn't play tonight.
infected tooth? What the fuck is even that? It's not brushing his teeth enough. The fuck?
I don't know, but um, Yep, yet
Fucking pull
again.
the. I mean, if he had to take his tooth
I,
out, I don't know if that required any like minor surgery. I don't know. I don't
I
know what. It could have been anything.
I don't know anymore,
You
but
know.
the lies again from management, of course. Luca, like the Rangers, are a good team. It's just so freaking frustrating that we're in a tough stretch right now. Well, that's the thing. Can they break out of it? Not a lot of time left. Mike says Lindy Ruff is looking like quite the coach this season. 9 game winning streak, winning
I don't
12
know.
of his last 13.
I still think that's flukish on the low. I don't think
Yeah,
that's actually like legit. I don't like they're winning, but like I don't think it's not gonna last. I don't think it's gonna last. I think
something's odd about it. How do you go from
yeah,
a bottom feeding team last year to this? It's odd.
it's not gonna last. I don't think, and it's Lindy Ruff. Like it just won't happen. I just no, it's not gonna happen. It's odd, like you said. It's not like they made any moves to really make the team a whole lot better. I mean, it's just they had the same team. I mean, you added Palat, but Palat is not like gonna change your
And Palat's not
season.
even playing.
Oh, he's not. He's
No, he's
injured or
injured
something.
right now. Yeah,
Yeah, I don't. I just don't think. I don't think it'll last personally.
agree. Should they hire Trotz? Give it a few more weeks.
Yeah, not yet. I'd say at least like a solid couple weeks. Give it at least a couple weeks. Give us till like December.
Yeah,
I
which is
think
when
that
Trotz said either way he would be willing to
yeah.
coach again. Give it till then.
Give it like deadline December 1. If we're below 500, and it looks like we're not going anywhere, then you know, call up Trotz and be like, hey, when you plan to come back? You said December, but when? If you said whenever he says, okay, let's get something going because we're gonna get you going. Get you on board, get your staff together, get ready because we're about to fire you and fire our coach now, and that's what I think should happen.
Yeah, agree.
And what's crazy to think about is, you know, as much as like, when Trotz was coaching the Islanders and they said like, oh, we didn't score enough because, we didn't have that, goal scorer, but in reality, it was just because he was playing, the team was playing like, conservative. I mean, I don't think they were like that bad of a goal scoring team. Like they were like the Islanders with Trotz as a goal scoring team is better than what we have right now with Gallant. 5v5 in terms of 5v5.
Yeah,
And then you get the added benefit with, the I hate to say it, but the trap defense, that will probably play. But I mean, hey, if he could do it with the Islanders and make him from a bottom feeding team to like a competitive team, I still think the conference final runs were just because of the bubble in the shortened year. However, if he could do it with that team, and the Rangers are obviously a better team, I think he can, do a
and
lot
a
more
younger
with
team,
us.
so we're not gonna get fatigued.
Yeah, but
Uh, I'm not even pissed. I'm just drained. I'm drained tonight.
I'm just disappointed. I really
Me
am
too.
disappointed.
I'm not
That's
mad.
the
I'm
right.
just disappointed. That's the right way of putting it.
Yeah. I think Trotz. I like Trotz's system though, even though like it's gonna be boring hockey, but I like his system at the same time. I think it's effective. Um, his offense will, just even it showed with the Islanders, it's crashing in net, but it's also like, I don't know how he does it, but he gets his guys to be at the right position at the right time when like there's a rebound or some shit. Like there's always someone there. I don't know how he did it, but unless if it was the Islanders playing, goalies that were just dog water, and they were getting all these goals. I don't know if it was that, but um, you gotta look at it with the Capitals too. They were kind of like the same way, but I don't know. Trotz could be the answer, but I don't. I don't know. I mean, there's no one besides Trotz. Who else is on the market? And Trotz is gonna want a lot of money too.
There's no one I could tell you.
Trotz is gonna want a lot of money, unless if we want to like, you know, See, I don't even think that. I mean, this could be the answer, but we discussed this. Take like a guy like Dan Bilesma from Coachella Valley with the Firebirds in the AHL with
If they could
Seattle.
pry him away, yeah.
I mean, if you want to stick to the path where, like, we want our guys to score, we don't want them to, fall back and play defense. We want like guys like Lafreniere and Kako maybe to develop a little bit more. Dan Bilesma, if you viewers don't know him, he won a Stanley Cup with Pittsburgh in 2009. Beat the Detroit Red Wings, I believe it was in 7 games. Very good Detroit Red Wings team, as a matter of fact. Won the cup before. He wasn't the coach actually in 2008. He first year was 09. Michel Therrien was the coach in the 08 team, but that lost to Detroit. But then he came in Bilesma for Pittsburgh and won it. I think Dan Bilesma, his system
Kept
is,
Buffalo competitive too.
yeah, kept them around 500, despite their bad team. Bilesma is probably the closest thing to Mike Sullivan in terms of the way they play, each other's system with their systems. So, if you wish you had Mike Sullivan, then Bilesma is your guy, that you should be looking at. If you want to, keep, if you want to, maybe get some offense going, I think I'm sure he's capable of, keeping us, having like good structure defensively as well. I mean, I'm sure, he's not a bad coach. He won a Stanley Cup, so I'm sure. But yeah, that's just. But you're not going to pay him nearly as much as Trotz, obviously. But there's just so many pros and cons. I mean, Bilesma would probably have to come in the off season, like you said, Evan. I don't think he's going to leave midway through with his AHL team right now. But do you take that risk? You wait till the off season just to miss the playoffs, just to hire Bilesma, or do you want
I
to
think you
like?
could actually maybe, if Pittsburgh misses the playoffs, there's a chance you get Sullivan.
I mean, that's the thing. I mean, do you want to like risk missing the playoffs this year just to land Bilesma or Sullivan, or maybe even Trotz if he doesn't get hired by any team in December? Or do you want to just try to save the season and hire Trotz? And I mean, I don't know. I don't know what to think. There's pros and cons to both, honestly.
I need a few more weeks to have that answer.
Yeah, because Trotz can definitely turn the season around.
Yeah.
He could, but it's going to be so complicated with the coaching staff. Who's he going to bring in? It's going to be a short period of time. I mean, if I was a general manager, I don't know what to think. I wouldn't know what to think. I don't want to gamble on Pittsburgh, missing the playoffs and then also them firing Sullivan. So, like, if Pittsburgh misses the playoffs, do they hire Trotz if he's not hired?
They might.
And then they let Sully go? Because if that's the case, okay, great. And I'll take Sullivan, no question. Because Sully's a great coach, but are we okay with missing the playoffs this year just to maybe.
I still think that's a failure of a season.
It is,
With where
but
you were, it's a failure.
no, 100%. But sometimes you need to take a step back to take a couple steps forward. I just, it's
Yeah.
tough. It's tough.
We need a few weeks.
I think December 1 will be, I
We'll
think
have a
December
more clear
1,
idea.
yeah, I think December 1, someone's gonna lose their job if we keep playing this way. And then, that off season, you either strip Truba of the captaincy or you trade him away.
Please trade him. Ugh. But to get back to the comments, can't sign Booch because of all. Yeah, Booch trade away salary dump. We would have been better off getting a lottery ticket or draft pick. Yeah, I mean they should have tried. They should have just. They could have done multiple different routes for a Buchnevich trade, but it is what it is. It happened. And yeah, it is what it is. And Blake, yeah, that's another problem. He's always heard has never played more than 15 games in a row or 40 in a season.
I mean, listen, originally, picking him up was, I mean, I didn't know any much about him besides the fact he won a Stanley Cup because, he was with the Blues in 2019. But I mean, originally seeing him play, I thought he was good, solid, well-rounded player. Didn't really excel in anything, just a well-rounded, experienced player. But now he's getting injured, and especially after that,
And he looks slow.
especially after PK Subban injuring him, and now looking at him now, it's just hasn't been the same. And I had a feeling it was going to mess with him. And injuries like that, serious injuries, like that, will mess with a player's confidence rather. Um, another Ranger, Rick Nash.
It's not even just mentally, it's physically too. He looks so slow. He really
Yeah,
does.
yeah. But I was gonna say, like, give an example, like Rick Nash. He has, like, in Columbus, big goal scorer, but he's always had like concussion problems. And then you bring him to New York, and he just wasn't doing what he did in Columbus. Just because it messed with him, mentally. I mean, his game was crashing the net and scoring goals and just getting into the guts of the play, but just wasn't doing that. Hence to why he never really showed up in the playoffs. Or in the regular season for that matter, except for 2014, 2015. But I mean, yeah, it's going to mess with the player's confidence, and it's messing with Sammy Blake clearly.
Yeah. Of course, Kravtsov is always out. Kravtsov, yeah. When are these injuries and players being out going to stop? It's out of their control, sadly.
I have a question now. See, now I know we don't like to talk about Patrick Kane. However, if for some reason, whoever our coach is, whether it's Gallant, Trotz, Milesma, whatever, if we're in a playoff spot by like the deadline and maybe we think we can make it, do we just, instead of, you know, running with the team that we have now because, I don't know how far we would really make it, should we just like put Kravtsov in the deal with like a first rounder and maybe Matt Robertson just to, maybe
I
get
do
Patrick
that, but
Kane?
the problem is that's not going to happen. They're going to want more.
Well, they want more, but I don't think teams are going to be offering them that much.
Well, that's what it comes down to, yeah.
And then you're going to have to take the best deal, and I think at that point it's going to be the Rangers. So that could work.
Well, it also depends if Kane specifically wants to come to the Rangers, then yeah, they'll be able to
Oh
get
yeah,
him
then
with
they'll
a deal
have the
like that. But
leverage. Yeah, then they'll have leverage on the deal. Yeah. But it's just like, do we try to, work with this experiment with, Kravtsov? I mean, guy wanted, the guy essentially wanted to be traded. I mean, he had beef with the organization, and now he's playing, and it's just kind of awkward.
he's trying to get his way out of town still by playing good, but he hasn't been playing good. He can't even stay in the
Yeah.
lineup. Like, it's ridiculous.
I
Panarin has
mean,
not been a finisher this season. Yeah, no.
Panarin hasn't been a finisher for a while now. Let's be honest. I mean,
Since
last time he was,
Chicago.
yeah, since Chicago, and you can make the argument for Columbus, but ever since then, those days, since he's can't come to the Rangers, he's barely shoot the puck. I mean, Patty Kane, Chicago, Patty Kane was setting him up. This guy was burying the back of the net like no problem. You know, top cheese there on the power play, bar down. It was nuts. And now he's passing up, scoring chances of. I mean, the guy has a hell of a shot, and it blows my mind that he just would rather pass the puck. He could
Yeah,
score a
it's
lot more.
ridiculous.
The dude has a hell of a shot. I thought when he came to the Rangers, I thought we were going to get a lot more goals, like as a team in general too. Not only playmaking ability, but more goals too from Panarin and just the team in general. Just because Panarin's an elite talent, but the dude doesn't want to shoot the puck, and now he's you know I
Yeah,
thought,
5 goals right now isn't enough from him.
yeah, like, bro, like, you have a great shot, use it. Fucking use it. If you
Yep.
have to miss the net 10 times just to get it down, fine, so be it. Shoot the puck, because your shot is only going to get worse from you not shooting enough. Shoot the fucking puck.
Yeah.
I mean, Zibanejad is shooting a lot more, but that's just because also shoots a lot on
Because
the power
he's
play.
yeah, that's the only option they look for on the power play.
Yeah, exactly.
They need, which by the way, they definitely need to switch things up
I
on the
think
power play. But
I think maybe like Panarin should be where Zibanejad is. Low key, maybe you should consider try. You should try doing that.
I would move Panarin to the bumper and put Kako on power play one. Move Trocheck down, balance things out a bit too.
Where Kreider is? You mean
No,
bumper or Trocheck?
yeah, where Trocheck is.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that could work. Um,
Just
Mike.
because Panarin in the bumper would work, because he has the shot and he could also create space from there too to set
Oh,
up
that's
to
that's
manage it
tough.
more.
I mean, yeah, but that's tough. That's tough space to create. You're in tight
I mean,
space.
you're paying a guy like that to do it though, so
Yeah, could work. How about we put Panarin? Hear me out. Just for the hell of it, Panarin where Fox is. Put Fox where Panarin is.
that could work though. Honestly,
Let
the only
Panarin
problem is
quarterback that.
how
Let
many
Panarin
look how many
quarterback.
shorthanded chances Nashville got tonight. That's the only issue.
It's just an idea. Like let Panarin quarterback the whole
I
power
mean, it
play.
would make sense. Don't get me wrong, but just because of the shorthanded chances, that's the issue you
Yeah,
have.
but if I don't know. I mean, but listen, Panarin can actually handle the puck. Like he is strong on the puck, low key. He know like it's tough to get the puck off of him. And if they do, it's gonna be a struggle. And I think by then we'll have enough time to get at least a guy back to cover for Panarin. If he were to turn the puck over, but it's tough. Mike made a good comment. Put Trocheck on power play too. Kind of agree, just because just to balance things out instead of putting all your chips into one power play. Balance it out. At least make power play two somewhat. Um, I guess I don't know what the right word. I don't know what word to
Usable,
use. Usable, yeah. Competitive,
reliable.
whatever. Reliable, somewhat reliable, yeah. Because at least because now power play two is once they come out, it's like, oh great, power play's over. At least like we want to have it. At least there would be a chance for power play two to score if you put Trocheck there. How about we, and what we could do, what the Rangers could do, how about we create a mismatch? We put Panarin on the second power play just
That's
to
what I
create a,
said, but I got crucified on Twitter.
well, fuck Twitter. Twitter's a dumb place. I mean, there's a lot of people on Twitter saying how Trouba's a great choice for the captain, so
Very
don't
true.
worry about it. But I think the mismatch would actually work out just because Panarin will be playing below, some talent, below him, and he'll probably get a lot more space than he would on power play one, to and then bury those goals, um, from from the wing on the right side. So it could work.
I agree, and you have enough guys that could pass the puck on that first unit. You have Fox there that could pass the puck. Like, you'll be fine not having Panarin's passing.
Or or hear me out. Just hear me out. If you really want to create like a mismatch, we bump we bump Zibanejad as well to power play two, put Lafreniere on power play one.
Instead of
Think about
Panarin,
that.
or
No. Panarin Zibanejad on power play two. Keep power play one.
I think
Just
that's too much. I would maybe consider Trocheck and Panarin on power play too, not Mika though.
or we could put Kreider. Kreider will be on power play one, but like we'll go Kreider and then maybe like either Heedle or Trocheck, on the bumper. Um, you got Lafreniere on the left side, and then like I said, Heedle or Trocheck. Let's say Heedle is on the bumper, or that wouldn't make sense because Kreider's usually on the right side deflecting pucks on the net. So it would be Trocheck, and then could either put Heedle or Kako, probably Kako, and then you put Fox, leave Fox at the point. But then in power play too, you got Zibanejad, Panarin, and then it'd be like Truba up top. That's what kind of like those three were on the same power play when Truba and Panarin first came. That those three were on the same, so I guess there's some familiarity there, and I think that would really kind of create a mismatch. And I think that honestly is kind of balanced. I mean, and it actually I think works out because you put you give Lafreniere time on power play 1, and you give Kako or Heedle, whoever would be up on power play 1 time to just get some power play time and be put in a situation where where you need to score, and I think that will just grow them as players. And Zibanejad and Panarin already have that experience, obviously, because um, they're on power play 1 all the time. So, but I think that lineup with power play 1, power play 2 is balanced, and I think for power play 2 just creates, like I said, that mismatch. So gives Zibanejad more time with the puck, maybe, or more space to shoot, more shots, more one-timers, and Panarin to make a play because, the other team is not going to have, the star-studded talents on power play 2, but now we got Panarin and Zibanejad. You know what I mean? It could work. Could work. And I think that's balanced, personally. I think that's a good
I
balance of
agree.
both.
I mean, something's got to change. Something's got to change. Um, just to get back to the comments, I think the problem is Truba's a bad leader as a captain. Yeah. We beat that drum. I'm frustrated but less angry this game. We just had crappy puck luck, but our D looked good. We moved the puck well overall. Just couldn't hit the back of the net. Yeah, that's pretty much the perfect way to sum that up. No puck luck at all tonight. There may not be a point in any pickups in by the draft deadline.
Assuming
So
if we play bad still, like we're just like 500 hockey, then yeah, there's
yeah,
probably not a point.
100%. Kid line is our best line a lot of the time. The frequent sustained offensive zone pressure they have is honestly amazing to me. They are the future. Yeah, and it sucks that it unbalances the top 6. That's the only thing that sucks, which, again, you have the opportunity right now to just play Panarin and Zibanejad together, put Kreider on the right wing there, and then just have the kid line be the second line, and then throw Trocheck on the third line with, I don't know, Kravtsov and Gauthier maybe, something like that. You could figure it out, but figure out a different set of line combinations because this isn't working. I remember the days of the offseason you're doing, days extend mod. I really wish Troy just did it. Yeah, would be nice to have a guy like him in the lineup that could kill penalties, unlike some other guys that are playing, especially Carpenter, who thankfully isn't playing. Can you waive no movement clauses in a trade? Yes, but if you're talking Trouba waiving it to go to Hartford or anything, no, they can't send him down to the AHL because of the no move clause. Barry has so many nightmares at MSG, so if you can't beat him, join him is what I would tell Trot.
True.
Let me be the coach. I feel like there's no way we win a
Well,
cup with
nightmares.
Gaunt.
I mean, only 2 nightmares actually. Game 5 and Game 7. Other than that,
Yeah.
but yeah, I think that's still enough.
I feel like there's no way we win a cup with Gallant unless they turn us around somehow and prove us wrong.
I don't know. I mean, fuck. We haven't been able to score last year, and this year it's even worse. I feel like, and our defense is actually slightly improved the last couple games, but it's like the same problems as we did last year, except we just got bailed by Igor. People just have to realize Igor really spoiled us, and yeah, and you can't expect. And Igor, I don't even think he's having a bad year, right? Statistically, is he? I don't think he
He's
is.
having a bit of a rough year statistically, a 909 save
Oh,
percentage.
okay. I thought it was a little bit better than that, um, but besides that, you can't expect Igor to be like a 930, like a 940 guy or whatever he did, or just like whatever he did last year. Can't expect him to duplicate like every year. Maybe somewhere like close, somewhat close, but this year is obviously a rough year. But
Yeah.
yeah, just we got spoiled last year with Igor. Simple as that.
I hard disagree with this comment. No, do not bring AV back.
Um, if At least you'll have a score, but
No,
it'll
no.
be the same nonsense with the defense and all of that jazz, But yeah, Avy is like Gallant, he's just gonna play his favorites, older guys first, younger guys second or last, whatever, and it's just gonna be like Gallant, but maybe a little bit more strict, and you know, he's more stubborn than Gallant is right now. That's for sure.
I only brought this comment up because I noticed a name in here that the Rangers should have went after Evan Rodriguez this offseason for how cheap he signed.
Yeah, that's
That's a
true.
guy that they should have went after, and yeah, I agree. They need some better role players, but they also at the same time do need a top six guy. And not this year, but next year, there's a name at the deadline that definitely interests me if this certain team misses the playoffs. But we'll get to that conversation for next season. That's far away from now.
Who is it?
Zuccarello,
Let's
bring him
see,
back.
bring him. Yeah, that'll be
Play him with
interesting.
Kreider and Zibanejad. Don't despair, Vitali, the chosen one. Kravtsov will lead us to the promised land. Yeah, what
I
promised
wish.
land?
The
We need Frank
Trots.
Vetrano back. I do not look like Vetrano, still Nico, but
We need Frankie aka Core Python back.
maybe if Gallant showed anger in his post games. I mean, there are times where he'll call the team out and they still don't respond. So I don't know how much
He probably
it'll
calls the
matter.
team out and then he goes in the locker room. Yeah, I didn't mean any of that. Don't worry, just play your game. I just did it for the media. Just trying to keep my job.
Tarasenko would be a name, but you have to be competitive by the deadline. Simple as that.
Yeah, exactly.
Sorry, that Brian the Rangers should bring AV back because I wasn't even thinking. I remember how he kind of messed things up with the Rangers. Yeah, you're good. I mean,
did he really mess up things with the Rangers? I mean, we were heading in a rebuild anyways. I mean, our team got worse over time.
I mean, during that run, though, I don't know.
I mean, he wasn't like bad, but like he didn't adapt to the game. Meaning like he just stuck with whatever like if we're up by 2 goals late in the game or like he wasn't like or not even forget even that like just based on like the way like maybe the other team is playing. I don't maybe like the we're not able to get the puck out of our own zone, for example. Like instead of trying to do something different, he'll just do the same or tell his team to do the same thing and hope for another result. If you know what I'm saying, he just wouldn't like change with like his systems much or just based on like the context of the game. I think that was the real problem with
I think he was just a
Alain.
product of good goaltending.
And yeah, that too. But I don't think he was bad, but I don't think he was good either. I think he was just like
I don't think he was
below.
good.
I think it was just below average. If you put
No.
the right team with him, I feel like.
Well, you could say that for a lot of coaches, though. I don't know.
I don't know. At the same time, I think back at like 2015. I felt like we were doing. We were a good team, well rounded, but we just no TikTok boy tonight.
No
Dang.
Nico tonight.
Oh, this is Nico.
I
Oh.
don't think this is Nico. This is
Oh. This is
Nico
awkward.
commenting about Nico.
So is this okay? This is another Nico. Interesting. Dang. Is that like an insult?
I don't know if it
No
is.
tickle. Damn.
That was so funny though when we went to the game. There was just people there like, "Yo, it's the guy from TikTok."
Are you serious? That's hilarious.
Yeah, it was fucking funny.
All three of us have to go for sure.
I'm the real Nico. The fuck?
Yeah.
I don't know about that one.
What's your thoughts on the field? What's your thoughts on the Flyers this year? If you're the real Nico, then if you know, you know.
If you're the real Nico, what do you think of Patrick Kane?
Or that, yeah. Now I'm curious. Get this Nico on. I want to talk to him.
I mean, I would love to do that. If any viewers do in chat do want to join, you know
Yo,
what?
we should do like call-ins. Like, get a phone number and then have them call in.
No,
Just
we
like,
could just have them join right now.
yeah, send the link right now.
If
Anyone?
anybody wants to join in, let me know and I'll put the
Yeah,
link in chat
facts.
and get people to join in. Why not?
One
Why
dollar
not?
buy-in. A $1 buy-in. It's a $1 buy-in though.
No, we start for free. Then it becomes a buy-in.
Yeah. Once we hit like 10 viewers, right now we're at 7. It
All
becomes
right,
a
Connor
$1
says he's
buy-in.
down. All right, let's get people. As long as you are
Okay, there you go.
stream appropriate, we could we'll do call-ins. We'll start to do that. Why not? So let's see.
Yeah, be like the Michael K show or something like that. Get call-ins from like other
Crabsoft is
states.
the only one who brings the swag.
Yeah, I fuck with David Quinn right there. The swagger we need. Facts. Bringing back DQ.
You need me to join the talk about Crabsoft? Hey, go ahead and join. Link is in the
Anyone
chat
can
then.
join.
But we'll bring one caller in at a time, so we'll get
Yeah,
people
one
to join.
caller.
We'll do one at a time here.
We need your social security for you to enter as well. We need to identify that
Yeah,
you are legit and
we
not
just need the
anonymous.
first 16 digits of your credit card as well.
Yes, so we can have access to your bank account, take some money, and then for you to join.
I think Patrick Kane is good, but I think he lacks playoff experience since he's missed them for years.
I
This
don't
ain't
know
the
about.
real Nico.
I don't know if he lacks playoff experience. I mean, the dude won 3 cups, so I don't know about
Can't
that.
even back check and play defense. We have enough forwards who don't. Yeah, that's another issue with Kane.
Well, I mean, I will say this about Patrick Kane. Did some research. One of his sisters kind of hot. Bit too old for me, but still kind of hot. So, I mean, we do bring Patrick Kane, you will see me outside the Garden trying to get some. She's probably married. Don't care. Heard it here first. Tyler Mott, come back. Fuck.
I have no response to that.
If you know, you know. If you know, you know. It's an inside joke. It's an inside joke. You viewers won't understand. Luca says, bro. I'm sorry, Luca. All right, is anyone joining?
Yeah, I thought people said they were down.
All right,
What's
yo,
happening?
everyone, yo,
I'll
just
put the
join.
link in chat one more time.
Yo,
Join up.
this is your chance to be famous in front of 7 other viewers. Come on, join. Join. Get your name out to the world. I might. No, I.
Someone said, "How do I join?" Click the link that I put in chat, and that should work. You are hold up. All right, take your time, everyone. We'll wait
Yeah,
around here.
but going back to Patrick Kane siblings, one of them I requested on Instagram, got declined. So it was like a bit of an L. I was disappointed, but I still am getting some if he comes to the Rangers.
I don't want to go on video, but I'll talk. Yeah, you don't have to put
Doesn't
your
matter.
camera on.
Yeah, you don't have to put your camera on.
No cameras needed. You just join up.
But that would require social security, bank account, just to identify who you are, if you're legit, We don't want any robots.
Yeah.
Or we don't want like, I don't know, actually I do know, but not stream appropriate. Okay. Inside joke too as well. But he could be watching. Anyways, please join the fuck up. We want to hear your thoughts and prayers for this team.
If I join, I will on my phone. That's no problem either. It does not matter how you join, as long as you talk, as long as you are stream appropriate. Everything's fine with it. Although my co-host isn't stream appropriate at times, so I don't know.
Bruh, I never mind.
Well, as I mentioned, Jesse's flossing and brushing his teeth, so we gotta wait on that.
I fuck with Jesse. Let's go, boy. Come on. Floss them gums, bro. Make them bleed. Make them gums bleed. Jesse has a big dentist appointment tomorrow, or today. It's the morning.
Yeah, he's got to get prepped for that.
Yeah, apparently this dentist or
Wait.
whatever the fuck they're called is pretty hot. So gotta get them teeth shiny. My dog Lulu is sleeping. We'll tell your dog to wake the fuck up because you're gonna be joining the damn podcast, my boy.
Jesse's definitely got a cavity tomorrow, though. Definitely a big dentist day for him. He wants to make sure he looks presentable when he gets the cavity done. Make sure he doesn't have any
Absolutely.
more.
Absolutely, no question. I can't blame him. I have a fun dentist story. So when I think I forgot how old I was, but I had a couple cavities, and the dentist, or I don't even, are they called just dentists? You know, the people that just do your teeth, like, or is there like another name? I don't even fucking know.
Yes.
Okay, I don't care if you think I'm retarded because I am. Anyways, um, she she's doing my teeth. She's like sees a couple cavities, and she stops, and she pulls out a photo of her family. She's like, "You see my kids? You gotta have teeth like that. They're white and they're clean. Yours is not." I'm like, "What the fuck?" I'll never forget that. I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding. It was true story. True story.
These dentists are crazy.
Yeah, facts, bro. Like they're different, man. They are different. Like they eat cereal with a fork, you know? It's nuts. Honey Nut Cheerios with a fork, and they pick at it. Chomp chomp chomp.
Definitely eat pizza too with a fork.
Did they eat pizza with a spoon? No, they eat pizza with a fork and spoon combination. Have you seen those before? Like
No.
there's like a utensil, and it has like it's like spoon, but it has like spikes on the bottom. So it's like a fork and
So it's a
spoon.
spork.
You find that in prison, pretty much. No, I have not been to prison. My record's clean. Trust me.
I had to get like 5 teeth
Un-
removed out
until
of 10.
until Patrick King comes to the Rangers, then no.
I had my favorite story is when I had my wisdom teeth pulled, and I literally cried after because it was over the summer, and I I I cried to the surgeon, and I'm like,
Wait, what are we talking? Yeah, yeah, hey, wisdom. Okay,
when
go
I had my
ahead.
wisdom teeth pulled, I was crying to my parents and the surgeon about the fact that the Rangers were out of the playoffs.
What year was this?
This was this past year.
Oh, shut the fuck up. You
I was
no chance.
because it was in like July, and I was crying to the
Nah.
surgeon. I'm like, "Is the Rangers season over?" And they're like, "Yeah," and I started bursting out crying.
Oh, shut off. No
Oh,
chance.
we got the real Nico. Let's see what the real Nico's
Oh,
got
shit.
for us.
Nico, is this you? No
Yeah,
chance.
it's me.
No
Doesn't sound like
chance.
Braden Schneider.
It
Nah, man.
doesn't.
What do you
What's up,
got for
guys?
us, Nico?
Show
What do you
me.
got for us?
What do I got for you?
What is that? Wait, no. What is that? What does your profile pic say? Show me what?
Show me those boobs. I think.
Oh, that. Okay. Okay.
What do you
What
got
do
for
I
us,
think?
Nico?
About tonight?
Yeah, what do you got for us
Anything?
for the
Any
game?
thoughts?
Anything you got?
Do you want to pray with us?
dentist stories for us?
I mean,
Yeah.
about tonight, like I think like the shot that Gauthier missed, and like when Trocheck like blocked the shot that like was gonna want to go in, you know,
Yeah, that killed the game.
it did. Like I felt like we could have like scored like 4 or 5 goals, but like our chances were like good too, but like I don't know what happened. I really
Just
don't.
couldn't hit the net.
Exactly.
Yeah, just bad puck luck,
It
and
didn't go
Nishi
in the net.
Saros was
That
good.
too. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, we got to figure it out though.
Yeah,
Like
honestly,
you said,
people say it's early, but I mean, you
it's
gotta.
not early anymore. It's
It's
fucking.
not early,
We're
exactly.
getting.
And these are.
We're getting late. It's late.
It is.
I'm growing a
And
beard here.
and
Let's
the
go.
Doing a beer too.
and the unofficial rule, if you're not in the playoff spot by what is it, Evan? Like Thanksgiving or something.
Yeah.
Not gonna make. Probably not gonna. I mean, anything's possible, but this team, like I said, just doesn't have the spark that some other teams, that were out of the playoff spot and by January, like the Blues, or not that the 2014 Rangers were like this, but they don't have the kind of spark like they did. Like I said, they don't have the. I don't think they're capable enough to do what some of those older teams have done. But I mean, yeah, this year so far has been pretty disappointing, pretty deflating.
Yeah, you're right. Definitely. Expect better, especially from a team that made the Eastern Conference Final last year. I mean, it's disappointing.
Yeah, no doubt. And you expect that their play would be a lot better from last year, but hasn't.
Yeah, especially
Pretty
because
unfortunate.
in the playoffs, you thought they'd build off of everything they did, especially later in the playoffs, Carolina and Tampa. You thought they'd build off of that play and bring it into this year. Nope, not at all.
I think their most complete series probably was against Carolina. Would you agree? But I feel like Pittsburgh way too shaky, and then Tampa Bay, like we discussed, Evan. I mean, you go up 2-0, but then take dumb penalties like Truba, or even Game 5, letting Sergachev take some muffin shots from the point and just going by Igor. I mean, fuck.
Yeah, that was terrible. I hated those muffin shots. Couldn't believe
Yeah.
that much.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's where we talk about point pressure being so important. You got to be able to have a strong presence at the point. Otherwise, doesn't matter.
Because do those goals really happen if you pressure the points a little bit more? I mean, Rangers all year long last year have been collapsing in front of the net, in the slot, and it was actually worse this year. But then they changed it up the last couple of games, pressuring the points a little bit. But it's just we should have been doing that anyways, because goals like Sergachev, not giving him time and space to work with the puck, those goals don't happen. I don't know. So, what are your thoughts on Kravtsov?
Shit.
Yeah,
Paper mache.
Paper mache. That's a great one.
I like it a lot.
Send him back to Russia.
Bro, we should
Send it
just
back.
package him in a deal at this point.
No, just send him as is. He doesn't even deserve a package.
Yeah. Oh wait, we have to discuss. Brennan Othman got traded in the OHL.
Oh
Oh,
yeah,
really?
we forgot to
No way.
discuss
Yeah,
it.
he got
Yeah.
traded. I don't know why he got traded. I
That's
heard it
weird.
was I don't know. I just saw a clip of him shooting the puck into the Sarnia Stings bench. Everyone thought it was on purpose. He said it was, I don't know if he actually said it was by accident or anything. I'm sure he did, but yeah, I saw that clip. But the news was, he got traded to the some other OHL team, named the Pete's or something like that. I don't know,
Ooh,
but yeah, but
Hopefully
it doesn't
they're season
affect
in
any.
sooner though, so we could
Yeah,
get Othman here sooner.
yeah.
even
But I
better.
don't know why he got traded,
Yeah.
considering he was the captain.
Yeah, that was just dumb. But Nico, any final thoughts before we bring our next caller in?
I mean, there isn't really much to say. I just think that this team needs to get their shit together. You have most of the parts you need. I feel like they're just not doing things right, especially the defense. Miller and Truba on the same defensive pairing. It's so
Yeah, it's
stupid.
tough.
Why do you do that?
Yeah,
It makes
gotta
no
break it up. Just gotta
Exactly.
break it up. Just can't keep doing the same thing. Like we said, can't expect doing the same thing and expect a different result.
And the fancy
Yeah.
shit, especially what Panarin's doing, he has a great shot. Just shoot the puck, dude.
Yeah.
I don't know what the fuck you're doing dangling. Just shoot the
Yeah.
damn puck. It'll go in the net.
I
Yeah,
agree.
5 goals is unacceptable for him right now. You need
He's
more
really
from
a
your
lead
guy.
scorer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, 100%. And he proved it in Chicago and Columbus as well. But for some reason, he just wants to pass more now with the Rangers. I don't know what changed in him, but
yeah,
whatever it is. Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. But Nico, thank you for hopping on with us. We'll see you again in the live chat. But have a good night, Nico.
Yeah, no problem. You guys have a good night too.
Thank you.
Now we'll bring Connor on, who has a face cam on. So, Connor,
Yo.
what have you got for us?
What's up, boys?
What's going on?
I don't know. I mean, I've been listening to pretty much the whole stream, and I think I really agree with the Miller Truba thing. It's not working. I think maybe like some sort of solution is like putting Lindgren with maybe Miller, Fox with Truba, because Fox can do anything, Fox is
Right.
playing like our best player right now. And maybe he can like make up for Truba's mistakes. So
Mhm. At this point,
yeah,
we should just drop Truba to the third pair, just so he just doesn't get ice time, so there won't be as many mistakes with our team, on the defensive side of things. I
the
mean,
thi-
it's just so bad that I don't even know what to think.
yeah, like the thing is though, is like, is that even gonna happen? Like, will Galan even have like the balls to do that?
Nah,
Probably
I
not, and I
mean,
don't think that he's going to, especially when it comes to Fox and Truba. I don't think he's gonna do that pair just because they're both right-handed, which is unfortunate. Because yeah, that would be the perfect
Yeah.
pair. Otherwise, that's the only thing that I worry about with that. And yeah, with the third pair, there's no way he's gonna do that just because it. Come on, the modern day Scott Stevens, of course, you got to keep your
yeah.
captain getting the top minutes, but
And you
he
gotta
shouldn't
keep
be
him
on power
happy,
play too either. That's a whole different problem too. I think him quarterbacking that power play is a mistake. If you had Keandre Miller who could actually skate and move the puck, that would change the dynamic of that power play as well. You'd actually have something going from the point. And the guy used to play forward too. The guy used to play
True.
forward. Why not just put him there, guy in the blue line?
Yeah.
Thing about Miller this year is like he was having a great year last year, and he's having not a bad year this year, but
hmm
he is with Truba. I think there's a lot of pressure on him right now to kind of like explode and break out,
Yeah.
and I can see him. I notice him going like on more of the offensive rushes and stuff like that, and but like half the time he's either turning over the puck or like not doing something that's effective for offense. And I really like his game when he's defensive minded first,
Right.
So
Yeah, I
Yeah.
completely agree. I mean, that pinch that he made into the offensive zone earlier in the game for one of the goals, I wasn't a fan of it at all.
I
And
I mean, like I told Evan this over text. I didn't think the decision was bad, but if you're just not gonna like do anything with it, obviously it's not a good decision after all. I mean, but you just gotta win a puck battle, and it was in the corner, right? The puck, if I'm not mistaken. So
yeah,
you just gotta win that battle, and set something up in the offensive zone. But the fact that you didn't, I mean, they didn't couldn't expect anything good to come out of it, and it didn't. But I mean, that whole sequence was just a shit show from the start to the finish. I mean, Miller and then Lafreniere having to be the guy back on defense, and then Truba just going out trying to hit whoever the rookie that got his first NHL goal. I forgot his name on the
Arsenault.
Predators. Yeah. Instead of just trying to poke the puck away and just trying to you know because if he poked it, well, I don't think he would have scored. But instead he just tries to go for a big hit and completely misses everything, the puck and him, the player himself, and the dude looked like an idiot for doing that. It's like, bro, what are you doing? Like you didn't even do anything on that play. You just dove and that was it. You look like a soccer player. Like it was bizarre. But that's all Truba knows for some reason. I don't know. Team
yeah. And
needs
then
to figure it out.
to get back to Keandre for a second, he also just continues to make some mistakes that rookies will make. I think it was against the Islanders where he had a brutal turnover. It was the Islanders or Detroit where he had a really bad turnover in the game because instead he sends it down the wall where there's clearly three jerseys. I think this was actually Detroit. There is clearly three jerseys of the opposing team, and for whatever reason, he still tries to send it down the boards. And instead of eating the puck, you gotta, you're year three into this thing. You gotta not make mistakes like that. At some point, you gotta learn. And that's also killing that pair. Too many rookie mistakes still from Keandre Miller at times. And it's unfortunate because I thought this year was going to be his big breakout year, but there are times where he just looks lost out there.
I mean, he has the potential, like
Mm,
he has goals that are highlight reel goals. He has
yeah,
great offensive knowledge, awareness, and stuff like that. But it needs to start with in the defensive zone, And
yeah,
perfect that for him, and because he
The
hasn't yet.
offense.
He hasn't yet.
Yeah.
He's really close, but
Mhm.
he just hasn't done it yet. And I love the guy. I think he can be a great top 4 guy. Like how old is he? Like 23 or something?
Young,
I
right?
think even younger. I think he's still only like 21.
Like
21, 22.
he's another part of the future. Like I was saying in the comments, like with Kako, Heedle, and Laugh.
Mm-hmm.
Like this is the future. We just need to make it right and get it right.
Right.
Yep,
100%. I agree.
100%. And it really depends on those guys for the future. Really does. But do you have anything else you want to add before we go to our next caller?
Um, just one more comment on like the kid line.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think I said this in the comments in another stream of yours. Like Heedle is probably the best player on that line, and
Agree.
he was injured, a couple games in the season, but he's coming back and he looks great. Like when he
Yeah.
speeds up and he has the puck, he is fast and he can do damage. And
Yeah.
Kako is arguably like the best stick handler on the team, maybe Panarin, and then Laugh, I didn't love how Laugh was playing in the beginning of the season, but he looks like he's picking it up, and like those guys, 5 years from now, they're our future.
For sure.
100%. I think you nailed it, especially with Heedle. The bottom 6 really missed him when he was out, and he's driving the play on that line completely and controlling
Yeah.
it.
People don't realize Hedo's like a big boy. He's big and he's got skill. And yeah, he it's clear that, he really drives the play on that line, creating space, for Kako and Laffy. They are our future, and I think, if Hedo just continues the way he's playing with his development, it's he's gonna be, hopefully a key piece to our next Stanley Cup, but we'll see.
Yeah, and if that line stays together, I see no reason those guys can't break 50 plus points this season at this rate.
Yeah. 100%.
And that is a huge step forward in the right direction, considering how much we've been dying for them to get to. Everyone came in; they're expecting a point per game from these guys. You had to be realistic. 50 points, I think it would be a nice spot for them to get to this year, and then you build off of that as you go on. Like Statboy Steven said when we had him on the show, it took the Sedin twins till they were 23, I think he said, for them to hit 50 points. You would have these guys at 20, 22, 21, and 20 hitting that 50-point mark. That's a huge step in the right direction for these guys.
Just imagine where they can go,
100%. And the only way is up with them, especially with a younger player like that, younger players.
Yeah.
But thank you so much for coming on, Connor. We really do appreciate it. Have a good night.
Thanks for having me,
Appreciate it.
boys. Yep.
No problem. See you
you.
soon.
All right. Now let's head to Luca. Luca, what do you got for us?
So this one's pretty disappointing, but
You see in the waiting room too, Nick, right? Is that what you're laughing at?
No.
Oh,
I just
okay.
said it was disappointing. Comes right in. Just, oh yeah, this is disappointing.
I don't know. But I was pretty disappointed with this one, but hopefully they can get one tomorrow against the Coyotes. But yeah, I'm not too thrilled about this one. At least they outplayed them though.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, knowing our luck and the way we've been playing, we'll probably lose to the Coyotes in, like a 2-1, 3-2 game. But yeah, no, we definitely outplayed them. We only let up, I believe, like 18 shots and got like 32. So I guess that's something to be, happy about. But at the same time, we're not winning, and we got to figure it out. I still think it's a locker room issue. Something's going on that's not right. But what do you think, Luca?
I think the problem here is Trouba. I mean, like,
Yeah.
he's not like a good captain. Like, I'm just gonna say it right now. Like,
Yeah.
over the off season, like Drury made him captain. Like he thought he was gonna be like a worthy captain, but like I don't think he's doing anything right now offensively.
Well,
or
the question is,
defensively.
did Drury? See, we me and Evan still can't decide. Was it? I mean, they say it was the player's decision, but
Oh,
Was
okay.
it really the player's decision, or was it really, maybe it was more Gallant,
Yeah.
saying like, hey, I want him, and the jury just kind of went with the flow, because there's no guarantees jury really wanted Sherba to be captain. Maybe might have wanted Chris Kreider to be captain, just because he's been here forever, 10 years now. Um, who knows? I mean, yeah, Truba is just not a good leader. Just doesn't lead by example at all, like you said, and he's got to go, and it's
Mm-hmm.
got to be soon. And he's just, I don't know how he is in the locker room, but clearly he's not a good locker room leader, because we haven't figured anything out yet with our team. And even like, I know this is something pretty minor, but like, as a captain after a game, or even after a period for that matter, you should be right outside, where the walkway is to the locker room or the glass. You should be, high fiving or patting your guys on the back as a captain. The dude is one of the first ones to go into the locker room as a captain. Now you got Chris Kreider that has been doing that job for, since he's taken the leadership role on this team. Probably I'd say around like 16, 17 season, or maybe even 17, 18, one of those 2 years. But now it's Kreider and Trocheck, but Truba doesn't even do anything like that, and he's supposed to be as a captain. You gotta, just be the guy. Like, you gotta be supporting these guys. Like, okay, we got this, we got this. But I mean, if you're playing like that, I guess he's embarrassed, and you don't. He just doesn't feel like to have the need to do it. I don't know what it is, but yeah, he's been the wrong choice right from the start, and he's just for the people that didn't want him to be captain, he's just proving us right even more by each game, and it's obvious, So I just don't know how people can defend a player like this personally,
Mm-hmm.
and it's nuts
Yeah.
that people wanted him to be captain too. I just couldn't wrap my head around that one. I mean, damn.
Yeah, another player who I wanted to mention, who I think is having a pretty rough season so far, I think is Braden Schneider.
Hmm.
Underratedly, yeah. I think for sure he's been having a rough season, and
Mm-hmm.
uh they call him mini Truba for a reason, because there are some times where he does look like Truba out there, whether he's a step behind on the back check, whether he's making a dumb decision turning over the puck, or whether he's trying to throw a hit instead of playing the puck in general.
Yeah.
There's certainly things that you notice with Schneider's game that has just not been good enough. And yeah, I'm glad you brought him up, because it's not talked about how he's been having a pretty rough season. And I think he played better when he played with Keandre Miller. I'd seriously try experimenting him and Keandre again, like the last caller said, Cotter. Try experimenting something different with the D pairs here. Maybe go Schneider and Miller again, and then put Truba on that third pair with Hayek or Jones, depending on who's playing. I think it's the right move, and you got to shake something up, because what you have right now isn't working on the blue line.
Yeah, definitely. Also, can we just talk about how garbage the camera was on the broadcast for like the camera in Nashville?
Yeah, it was a bit off. I agree with that.
Are
It
you
was a bit
referring
off.
to like something? Are you? I don't know if you're referring to this, but there was like a point in the game where
Oh yeah, like the
I don't know
red
what it said,
thing,
but it had
like
like an
the
X
red
on the
text.
puck. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that.
that
I don't
was
know if
so
you're
weird.
referring. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I have to say, I don't know if you guys agree with me or not, but if you notice, we have digital advertisements around the boards only for television. I hate that. I hate
Yeah,
that. When the
I
puck is
hate
in
it
the
too. They're
corner,
too
when the puck
noticeable.
isn't, yeah, and it just messes with me, messes with my eyes. I don't know, but when the puck is in the corner, I just can't even see the players clearly anymore, because there's just some like technical shit going on, just because I guess it's in like a closed area. I don't know what it is, but I want to be able to see the play develop clearly. I don't want to, have it hidden and then all of a sudden, oh wait, here it is, like trying to watch a hockey game. I hate it. I think overall everyone everything's just been downgraded from the advertisements, the trapezoid to now we're getting, the digital ones on the ice literally, and now around the boards. I mean, what's going to be next? Like around the glass? I mean, although MSC Networks, if you guys do remember, Foxwoods Sports Casino, they did advertise that on the boards behind the nets. I don't know if you guys remember that, but
Oh,
that's
hated
nostalgia. That was nostalgia. I do remember that.
I hated that
I
so
remember
much.
I remember when I was young, I used to think that was real. And when I used to go to the games, I'm like, bro, where the fuck did it go? No way.
Yeah, it was magical.
Yeah.
I remember that too. But Luca, did you have anything to add before we bring in our next caller?
Oh no, I just had a question. Do you guys
Yeah.
remember? Have they tried for one of the D pairs? Have they tried Fox and Jones yet? Because that could have some potential. Like, I don't.
They got a couple shifts. I want to say it was. I'm trying to remember which game it was. I want to say it was the game against Boston, maybe. I don't remember
Yeah.
exactly which game, but there was a game where they got a couple looks, and it didn't look awful. It didn't look great, that D pair, from what I remember. And I don't know. And I think they also did play a bit, I think, against Philly also, because I think that was that the game Lindgren got hurt. There was a game that Lindgren got hurt early on in the game, and no, that was the Boston game. That's right, and that's when we did see it. So yeah, that was that game, and yeah, it looked all right. It wasn't anything too great, at least in my opinion. But I think that if you let them play together, they could have some potential, even though they're both smaller defensemen.
Yeah, I think Jones has a really bright future.
100%. Yeah, it's just a matter of him playing, which sadly they're not playing him. I'd send him down to Hartford if you're not going to play him, in my opinion. Let him get some
There's
work
time
in.
there. Yeah.
But thank you so much for joining us, Luca. You have a good night.
Yeah, thank you guys so much. Have a good night.
Talk to you soon.
And now we have what I was laughing at, because I'm guessing this is what he meant by brushing his teeth. We got
the
real
man, the
Vitaly
myth, the
Kravtsov.
legend. Why you put me at the back of the line? I'm the most important guest.
The back of the line. We saved the best for last here, of course, Vitaly.
Man, y'all got to leave Kravtsov alone, man. I'll tell you the master plan. By the way, I know what really happened today. He didn't have the flu. He didn't have no tooth infection. That's why I brush my teeth, because I don't want no tooth infection now. But what crap? There's a fucking group chat, Telegram. There's a Russian group chat with all of his friends from the KHL, and I'm in that shit. He was poisoned by Gerard Gallant.
Oh.
And they are conspiring to try to ruin his career. This all starts from the top down with Chris Jury. There's a cabal of these global elites that are trying to sidetrack his career.
It's interesting. Never thought of that.
That's
you mean
what
your
they're
career,
doing.
Vitaly,
And
right?
Yeah, your career, actually.
No,
you are the real Kravtsov.
It starts from the top down. This team got no swag. It starts with that fucking orangutan behind the bench. He uses his tie as a napkin.
Quinn.
He's a fat slob. You got David Quinn or Sean Avery would be my next choice.
I mean, at least David Quinn will bring us the swag that you're looking for, right? As a player, since you're the real Vitaly, right?
No, I'm not the real Vitaly.
I thought you were. Sorry, shit.
You're just his number one fan.
You could say that, but also he doesn't really have 1 point in 6 games. They're also miscounting his stats and all sorts of shit behind the scenes. But I will expose all of that eventually. But anyway, so what we got to do, strip the C off of that fucking mouthful of peanut butter ass fucking Trouba. You fucking can't talk. Any of us would be better speakers for the fucking team than him. I don't know. Fucking sitting in the bench, this guy comes in with his mouthful of peanut butter giving a motivational speech. I don't know how people just burst into laughter. He needs to be fucking gone. They got to slap the C on Kravtsov. Kravtsov got to move to center, because that's where he was really good at the World Championship, or what's it called, the World Juniors. You got to have him center with Panarin on the left wing, right wing Ryan Reeves. I know that sounds a little strange, but because I compare Kravtsov, he's a lot like Gretzky, so he'd be Semenko or whatever the fuck that guy's name is. That would be Rio. Then I'm tired of Mika Zibanejad. I don't think he gets enough hate. He's been fucking awful. Terrible. I think he's gone back to being vegan. I would put him on like a training regime. Take him out of the lineup for a couple months. Make him start eating some meat. Then I think Yaroslav Halak should be defenseman. He ain't really cutting it as a backup goalie. And I hated fucking Georgiev, but fuck it. Bring him back and bring back Tony D at the same time.
Oh, shit.
But who's playing in goal if it's not going to be Yaro Halak? Who do you
Yeah,
want as the
facts.
backup goalie?
Shesty will be the starter.
Okay.
Make fucking Lindgren the backup, in my opinion. And fucking Philip Hedl, you know, with the tinted visor, I think we need to like change his game. You know what I'm saying? I could see him being a defenseman, and like he could just fucking rush that shit up the ice. Like, you know how fast he is. Fucking our D are slow as fuck. Like they are terrible.
But where's Justin Braun going to play then?
We only have Justin Braun. Did that guy retire? I don't even know
No,
what
when he
happened
comes
to that
back
guy.
is what I'm saying.
Does this mean we bring
He
back
was
Matt
pretty good
Humwick?
though. Not gonna lie, he was better than Trouba.
I agree. So do you want Bronner playing forward when he comes back?
Well, hold up, let me think. So Panarin, Vitali, and Revo, line 1.
Okay.
Line 2. We also got to bring back Buchnevich. Fuck, I hate Sammy. I know you love Sammy Blais. I remember like you met Sammy Blais and he's a nice guy, but man, he ain't playing too good.
So, okay, Buchnevich back.
Bring back Buchnevich. Fuck it, I'd trade Zibanejad for Buchnevich.
Okay.
I think Buchnevich was the only good
Zibanejad?
one of those three, him and Kreider.
Zibanejad
Buchnevich
for
was the
Kevin
good one.
Shattenkirk. Zibanejad for Shattenkirk.
Kevin Shattenkirk.
Yes, sir.
And Ryan Strome in a package deal.
Oh, absolutely.
Man,
And-
we miss Ryan Strome. I don't care what anybody says. Fuck it, he's way
I
better
don't
than
know about
Trocheck.
Oof.
Trocheck missed the empty net today.
Oof. I mean, I don't know. Bro, Strome has been missing empty nets forever now. I mean,
Strome's got like 16 points this season.
I mean, I it's hard.
And
to
he's on
argue that one
Anaheim.
with you, and I mean, Kravtsov wouldn't have missed those open nets either.
yeah, facts. Kravtsov be getting hat tricks every
What's
night.
the
Man.
what's the D core looking like though? Like, what do you think the D core's got to be?
So our number 1 D is Filipino.
Okay.
He's with Adam Fox. Adam Fox can play more of a stay-at-home kind of role. Second pair, Tony D. And fucking... Who else is on our team? Zach Jones. Whatever happened to Zach Jones? Why the fuck? I don't know where he went. Now we got Hayek back.
Okay.
I love,
and then
I love,
Shattenkirk
I
on the third
love
pair with
Libor
who?
Hayek. I love Libor.
Is
Hayek the
Shattenkirk
kayak.
playing with Braun on the third pair?
Yeah, Hayek and Braun.
I said Shattenkirk.
Him too. Fuck it. Put 3 of them on there.
Bring
we're
back
gonna
Brady
roll 11
Shea.
and
How
7.
about Brady
We're gonna roll
Shea?
7
How
But
about
that's
Brady
another
Shea?
thing about Kravtsov. He transcends the concept of lines. And like there's so many things he's gonna change about the sport. And like a lot of people, like you have to have a very high IQ to understand Vitali's game. And like stats are not advanced enough yet to truly like to what's the word? To quantize. Is that the word quantize? Like the impact he has on
Quantify?
the ice. Quantify. Fuck, you like a mathematician. They can't quantify what he does on the ice, like the impact he has. Like it's going to be studied for hundreds of years into the future, and like I'm going to be considered like one of the original philosophers, like in the field of Kravtsov.
We love that.
I agree.
We love that.
Which
What,
of
what,
the,
do you think of
some of your
Brody's comments?
business
Shea and
card.
Nemeth as the top defensive pair. That could be an interesting
Matt,
one. Or do you want
Brady
those guys
Shea
on
was one
forward?
of the most underrated Rangers of all time.
No. Speaking of underrated, Dylan McElrath, underrated. Didn't get talked enough about.
He was like the Vitaly Kravtsov, the defenseman. Not
I
gonna lie.
love Dylan McElrath. Bro, he should have won the Norris, right?
He should. Where the fuck did he go? He was on Detroit. I don't know where. Did he go to Tampa?
I have no idea, but if he went to, I don't know, if he went to Tampa, but I'm surprised he didn't become a stud in Tampa. 'Cause since everyone that goes there becomes like a fucking stud.
I fucking hate Chris Jury too, and I don't know if I can say this, or you might get a strike on YouTube, so I'm not gonna say it. But
say it. Why not?
No.
No, I won't say it.
Sucks to be Evan.
Who the fuck's Evan?
This man right here.
He's Evan?
No,
I'm
Vitaly.
subscribed to him. I know his name. Your name's not fucking Evan. Your name was, what was it? Steve?
Yeah, I'm Steve.
I don't fucking know, man. What do you think of Vitaly so far?
Oh, he's great. Best
I
player in the
think-
Man, I
league
think
right
you're
now.
being sarcastic, bro. I
No.
watch every KHL game. You think that I am like this is some sort of satire, man. I'm dead serious.
I have to ask, what year do you think we are in? Because you're speaking about KHL games. He's in the NHL.
We're in 2022, but nah, his games, like people have to study them for a long time before they'll even understand what he was doing. That's why, like,
Okay, I'm done. I can't take it serious anymore. I can't even. Um,
We love you, Vitaly.
we love you,
Hearts.
Vitaly, but I can't take that serious anymore. I seriously can't. That
Yeah, Michael K would have done the same thing on the
that-
Michael K show. So
that had me laughing. I won't lie, but that was wild to say the least. But
Shea and Truba need to be reunited, Mike said. Yikes.
We'll see
Yikes.
Nemeth tomorrow. Oh yeah, Patrick Nemeth returning to the Garden tomorrow. Do you
Oh,
think they're gonna put a
fuck.
thank you message up for him?
I hope. That'd be hilarious. I hope he scores against us too, so Golan could get fired. And then jury's excuse would be like, you let Patrick Nemeth, Finding Nemo, Papa Gino on you? Nah, not happening. You out. Good coaches don't let Patrick Nemeth, whatever. It's Nemeth. Score against your team. Period. See. Thank you. Jack Johnson, greatest defender of all
I'm
time.
speechless after that.
I
call.
should have asked about Jack Johnson. Fuck.
That's true. Yeah. He says, "I love you, Vitaly," in the chat.
Who is this, Jesse?
Oh my god, that's a great caller. That is great. Maybe we'll probably start doing more callers though. We'll figure out.
Yo, hold
setting
up.
that
Shout out to all the viewers that are with us at like 2 a.m. I mean,
Yeah,
you
shout
guys
out to the
are
viewers. Shout out to the callers for coming
Yeah,
through, making
that
this
too.
a fun
But the
stream.
viewers, I mean, we got 7 viewers. We topped out at 10, but whoever's still here, shout out to y'all. Real ones, Night Owls, Night Owl Gang. Best gang there is out there. That's a fact, not an opinion. What
We
were you
might
gonna
have to
say,
start
Evan?
doing this more. We're gonna have you guys entertained this much. Might have to start doing more of this, but we're gonna end things for the night here. Thank you guys so much for watching the podcast. Remember to leave a like if you did enjoy the podcast and subscribe if you are watching on YouTube. If you're listening to the audio version, give us a rating and review. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and we will see you guys in the next episode. Let's go, Rangers.